Today's tropical weather update is brought to you by State Insurance Company Limited. Live in a better state of mind.
And welcome to today's tropical weather update. For Monday, 21st July 2025, I am Letitia Humphreys, and to give you a look at what's happening across the tropics. We're keeping an eye on AL94 at this time. It's an area of disturbed weather located about 700 miles to the east-southeast of the Lesser Antilles. We are here, the Lesser Antilles, also known as the Eastern Caribbean. AL94 has been given a 20% chance to develop into a tropical cyclone over the next 2 to 7 days. So, of course, we will definitely continue to monitor that system. On our satellite imagery, we see that cloud mass associated with that system, it is moving along a tropical wave. There's also a low pressure center associated with it, and that system is moving towards the west-northwest at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here, across the Eastern Caribbean, we had some occasional showers this morning associated with a trough system, but that trough system, those showers are expected to continue. They're expected to be brief. We're not anticipating any significant showers throughout the rest of the day. But take a look at the dust to the north of the system. As the system moves towards the west-northwest, it is expected to encounter a more unfavorable environment. And you can see that dust expected to wrap into that system, causing it not to really develop any further. But as usual, we will definitely continue to monitor the progress of AL94. Here we can see that system looking rather disorganized at the moment. So here we have also AL94, but this is just a closer look at the system, and that system is moving towards the west-northwest. The air around it is rather dry. This is the Saharan air layer. Here we have AL94 down here. We see that cloud mass associated with it. We're here in the Eastern Caribbean and a lot of dry air surrounding that system. So of course, that system, once it ingests that dry air, it will begin to choke it and stifle the development of AL94. Now, our models, we have a few models that we're monitoring. And that model, the GFS model or the American model, is suggesting that as that low pressure center moves closer to us across the area, we will see an increase in the chance of showers, and this is mainly around Wednesday. But AL94 is expected to open back up into a tropical wave and lose that low pressure circulation. The European model is also suggesting similar results, where we see that system moving across the area on Wednesday. So anytime between Wednesday, late Thursday, but that system is expected to weaken and open back up into a tropical wave. So, of course, we always try to encourage you to be prepared as we go further into the hurricane season. Want to encourage you to understand your forecast information, so you're going to rely on forecasts from the National Hurricane Center or from your national or your local weather service, which is the Antigua and Barbuda Meteorological Service, your trusted weather source for information. You also need to know the difference between your watches and warnings. So your watches are normally issued when conditions are possible within the watch area or your area of location. So these watches are also usually issued at least around 48 hours in advance. A warning now is telling you that these conditions are expected or they're already occurring in your area, and this is usually issued at around 36 hours in advance. You want to focus on the potential impacts regardless of the size of the storm or the category, because even a weak storm or depression could bring a lot of flooding rains, whereas a small storm could be rather strong and it could cause a lot of devastating impacts. So you want to focus mostly on the potential impacts and not necessarily the storm size or the category. Know that deadly hazards also occur well outside of the forecast zone or the forecast cone. Know your risk from water and wind, so you're going to consider your threat from storm surge, flooding from heavy rain, strong winds, tornadoes, and rip currents. You determine if you live in a flood-prone area, because if you do, you would want to evacuate ahead of any heavy rainfall downpours. Find out if you live in an evacuation zone, and you also want to identify your home's structural risk, Your mobile homes and basements can especially be vulnerable to the risk of water and wind, or the hazards of water and wind. We encourage you to send any interesting pics that you may capture or videos to abmsiwatch@gmail.com. And also, we encourage you to continue following us. Also, like and share our content on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and X. Our daily updates are available on our hotlines 463-4638 or the website at antiguamet.com. We encourage you to continue to monitor with us and stay ready as we go further into the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season. Have a good day.
Today's tropical weather update has been brought to you by State Insurance Company Limited. Live in a better state of mind.